Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that I greatly appreciate you. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would greatly appreciate that. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about matters that are important to the country, matters that happen to then affect the economy, and by extension, matters that affect the amount of money in your wallet. I will teach you how to make money, how to save money, and how to invest money. So please make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications. Right now, the President of the United States is angry. And the reason he's angry is because the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked an initial attempt from the Democrats to bring the $2,000 stimulus check vote to the floor of the House. In other words, to pass it quickly. Well, the Senate Majority Leader is not in favor of this. And so what the Senate Majority Leader did is essentially object to a motion put forth by the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer for the $2,000 stimulus checks today on the floor of the United States Senate. And that was reported by the Washington Post, and the president responded. Here's a tweet on your screen from the President of the United States where the president says, unless Republicans have a death wish, and it is also the right thing to do, they must approve the $2,000 payments ASAP. $600 is not enough. Also get rid of Section 230. Don't let big tech steal our country, and don't let the Democrats steal the presidential election. Get tough. The president is unhappy. Now, I've had a lot of comments from you viewers and subscribers who are trying to understand how did the president change his mind so quickly? Because if you remember, a few days ago, the president said, well, he hinted that he was not going to sign the $908 billion stimulus package. And the president said he wanted changes, and he wanted changes to be made and brought back to him before he would consider signing it, including the $2,000 stimulus check. Well, here's an article on your screen that was published by the Washington Post. A day on the golf course helped change Trump's mind on the stimulus bill. So let me take you behind the scenes of what happened and help you understand exactly how Republican senators scrambled to get the president to change his mind. Lindsey Graham played golf with him, and how Rob Portman from Ohio came up with the idea for rescissions to help the president essentially accept the signing of the bill. So let's just jump right into it. I'm sure you know that the President of the United States, President Trump, loves golfing. He's not the only president that loves golf, but President Trump really, really likes golf. So what happened when the President of the United States said he did not want to sign the $908 billion stimulus package unless changes were made? Well, Lindsey Graham rushed to President Trump's Florida golf course, and he worked on the problem. He tried to get President Trump to, want to sign the bill. So Graham said in an interview, and I'm quoting Lindsey Graham right now, we'd hit a shot, take a phone call, hit a shot, take a phone call, hit a shot, talk about what's a good deal. It was a very intense Christmas day. So essentially they spoke, they hung out, they played golf, and what happened 2 days later was that the president signed the bill, and the president actually issued a long statement essentially airing his grievances and his expectations. And subsequently, the House voted 275 for, 134 against to advance the $2,000 stimulus checks by way of the Cash Act. And as you know today, that effort failed in the United States Senate because the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell did not want to bring the $2,000 stimulus check vote to the floor of the United States Senate. Now, as you can see on your screen, the president really enjoys playing golf. Whenever the president gets an opportunity, he does indeed play golf. And here's another interesting factor. Senator Rob Portman from Ohio suggested the formal rescission request to cut spending on foreign aid and to get the Senate to start the process for a vote. So that was his suggestion, which then allowed President Trump, like I mentioned earlier, to issue a formal and a rather lengthy statement calling for the rescission of certain items related to foreign aid and related to excessive and unnecessary spending. Now, what's interesting is while the president was golfing, Lindsey Graham was not the only person from the Republican Party trying to get this situation resolved. Other individuals that were involved were the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and the United States Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. Boy, that guy really has a thankless job. So moments before the president posted the message, the 4-minute video where he said he would not support the $908 billion stimulus bill, he was on the phone with McCarthy, who was actually at a clinic in Bakersfield, California. He was minutes away from going under general anesthesia for surgery on an injured elbow. McCarthy spent the rest of his week in a cast, and this was reported by the Washington Post, essentially reminding President Trump of all the political wins he had had and searching or trying to find a way to address all the concerns that the president had. Now, US Secretary Steve Mnuchin was also involved trying to salvage his reputation. He was actually at his vacation home in Mexico. Yep, the US Treasury Secretary was at his vacation home in Mexico. President Trump was golfing in Florida, and the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy was recovering from surgery for his elbow in California. So Mnuchin, US Secretary Mnuchin, and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows worked closely together with the president, congressional leadership, and members of Congress of both parties over the last week to address the concerns of the president. And according to reporting from the Washington Post, on the golf course, that's Lindsey Graham, determined that two of the president's grievances were towering among all others. He felt that the $600 checks, which had been sized to keep the overall relief package under $1 trillion, was simply too small. Trump was furious that Congress had done nothing about Section 230, which I've talked about extensively on our channel. Trump had tried and failed to block the annual Pentagon policy bill to punish tech companies whom, well, he doesn't have a very good relationship with them. Let's put it that way. Here's a quote on your screen from Senator Lindsey Graham. What drove his thinking was, I'm not going to give in until I get a vote on the checks in the Senate, meaning the $2,000 stimulus checks. And by the way, at the time I'm recording this video, it looks like that effort is dead on arrival. So it's not looking very promising to have a vote on the floor of the Senate for $2,000 stimulus checks. And I'll continue quoting Lindsey Graham. I'm not going to give in until I get a vote on the checks in the Senate, and I'm not going to sign this bill until we finally address Section 230. The commitment to have a vote in the Senate made a lot of difference to the president. So it seems like the president got a commitment to get a vote on the floor of the Senate, and even if that does happen, it remains to be seen whether enough Republicans will support the $2,000 stimulus checks. And here's proof that the Senate, Republicans in the Senate, are not going to be supportive of the $2,000 stimulus checks, even if there's some way for this to be brought to the floor of the Senate for a vote. You'll see this tweet on your screen from Jake Sherman over at Politico. He spoke with Senator John Cornyn from Texas, who's an influential senator from Texas. And Senator John Cornyn, who came off the Senate floor where he was talking with the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, told Jake Sherman from Politico that he's not supportive of the $2,000 stimulus checks. He says the president's focus on it undermines the very positive impact of the $900 billion rescue package that was just passed. In other words, the Republicans are saying, hey, why should we focus on $2,000 when we've done enough good with the $900 billion bill, which includes $600 stimulus checks? Jake also reported that he spoke with the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and asked if he was in favor of the $2,000 stimulus checks, and the Senate Majority Leader did not answer. So let's get back to the president and what made him change his mind. Senator Rob Portman from Ohio proposed a solution, which was a rescissions package that would allow President Trump to ask Congress to cut the spending. So again, that led to President Trump's lengthy statement, essentially President Trump's letter. In fact, let's show you that statement on your screen, where the president essentially said, hey, I'm going to sign this, but, I have an assurance that there will be a vote on the floor of the Senate. I have certain assurances from lawmakers. So that made the president sign the bill. And the president also said that he would send a formal list of rescissions to Congress. President Trump would ask Congress to cut spending. Now, lawmakers are likely to reject these cuts. I want to be as clear as I can about that. But the president could impound the money for up to 45 days, meaning it could not be spent until after he leaves office. In fact, President Trump said that, I quote, I will send back to Congress a red-line version item by item, accompanied by the formal rescission request to Congress, insisting that those funds be removed from the bill. Well, Democrats basically said, nah, we're not going to remove anything from the bill. You can request whatever you want, but we're not going to do it. And here's another quote from the Washington Post. President Trump was motivated by the belief that the $600 payments would be relatively meaningless to struggling Americans, many of them his supporters, and he wanted to be seen as fighting for more. Here's a quote from an administration official in the Washington Post. There's a criticism of him that he's self-absorbed and just trying to stay in office. But by demanding larger payments, President Trump calculated that he could send a powerful message to his base. Never forget, I'm here, I'm fighting for you. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to the article in the description section below. I'm curious to hear what you think I believe that all of this should have been worked out a long time ago. There was no need for the last minute pain, anguish, drama, mind games. This is not about the art of the deal. Our fellow Americans are struggling to put food on the table, struggling to make rent, struggling to keep the lights on, and I don't think things should have been left up until the last minute. I believe they're all playing a game of chess. You see this chessboard on your screen, and they were all busy making these moves. And essentially, I believe most individuals, most of our fellow Americans were an afterthought by all the players involved. That is my opinion. Let me know what you think again in the comment section below, and you'll find a link to the article in the description section below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time. I want you to know that I greatly appreciate you. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video right here. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. Although we cover politics on this channel, I want my viewers and subscribers to know that for me, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm American. We are all Americans first. I want our viewers and subscribers to know that this channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it is about your money. We cover important matters that are relevant to the country, that in turn impact the economy, and that by extension impact the money in your wallet. There are many different playlists on our channel. You will find playlists on financial freedom, playlists on managing your money, playlists on politics, playlists on administration announcements, all sorts of playlists that help you keep up with this crazy world that we live in, because there's a lot of craziness in the world, that's for sure. There are times when this world is so crazy that you feel like just smashing the screen, but I don't want you to smash the screen. I want you to have a clear screen so you can watch the Ignition Time channel. I want it to be raining money for you, and the way it will rain money like this is when you understand what's happening in the world around you. I want us to be in a perpetual party mode, regardless of what happens in Congress, regardless of what happens with the president. Doesn't matter whether it's President Trump or President Biden. I want us to essentially be in a party mode. I want us to be happy. I want us to be able to understand how the world works so that we can essentially do what is best for ourselves and our family. If you want to get breaking news and alerts from us, please get your cell phone out. Send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time in the body of the text message, and send that to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to our SMS alerts list. You'll get breaking news. You'll get important alerts about the country, about the economy, and about your money. Now, you'll also get information about any programs we might release. You can opt out of the SMS messages at any point in time that you want. If you want, you can get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. And then you can get on our email list. Now, you can opt out of the email list or the text message list at any point in time that you want. No worries about that. Also, remember that YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. You know, this is technology. Sometimes the notifications come late. So all you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to visit the home page of our channel and then check out our videos at any point in time that you want. So make sure you do that. Also, if you learn something new from this video, please consider sharing this video with just 2 friends or family members. Just 2 friends or family members can benefit from this content. It'll really help me out. It helps out the YouTube algorithm as well. You'll always find links to all of our resources in the description section below. So make sure you check out the description section below, because you'll be able to dig deeper into the content and all our news sources. We use a variety of news sources to bring you the latest news, to bring you the most cutting edge news. Also, please comment below. I'm very proud of our community. Our community is bipartisan, it's growing, it's highly intelligent, it's respectful. I look forward to healthy debates within our community, and I participate in our community as much as I can myself. Our community is growing very rapidly. Finally, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. That would mean a lot to me. Gently ignite that like button, gently ignite that subscribe button, because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. I do have a crystal ball, as you can see right here, and I do make predictions about the future. I'm not always right, but I do my level best. Thank you so much. If you want to participate in my crystal ball predictions, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'll bring some humor, I'll bring some levity, and most importantly, I'll bring transparency and truth to all news about the country, about the economy, and about your money. Join me in this journey about the truth, in our search for the truth, wherever that might lead us. I appreciate you for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. Bye.